Hey everybody, it's time for another real life superhero intro. This time this is another sports combat rock and roll costume intro. Only this one, my first one, which was at nighttime, that was more of a rant version. This is more of a positive review version. This will also be the debut intro for another real life superhero debut and my progress as a real life superhero. So, with that being said, let me hit both of the interest themes. I'm using both Kurt Angle's and Jeff Hardy's Impact Wrestling themes. Let me hit the intro right now.
This has risen to the top, the top. My this has been at the top, the top. My this has been past the top. Still my this has been past the top. Straight to the top, but then keep heading up and start shining why they should know what is real and how it really feel. The only way to feel the best under feels in a way that your body's as strong as we face in this life. There's a lot of time to get ready to showcase these skills you will get and you like it for what it's worth. Show out the style you rise in life. Show up a way to make it right. Make it to the top of my vision. Until you feel there's nothing more for you to do or say. And I need better get in my way. Come down. If you do, you'll be back on that road.
Get up, I'll never let up. Ferocious, I'm fed up, dismissing the competition. You're hopeless, trash, they're efficient. Listen, you want a class on tradition? Or one condition? Forget the best of the century. Talk about the best of all time, you better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best of all to be. I hold my ground, you never take it from under me. Don't run to me, it's gonna be trouble. I hit you so many times, you see triple or double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more ready to tear you apart. I lay you down early on, or maybe in the later round. It's no different to me. If you tap out, cash out, or simply pass out for free. Cause you face down, really, you barely alive. Cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? Hopefully you see what I mean. Knock you out, haven't seen. You were beaten by a triple team. Box you out the whole scene and gleam. The line like my dream, I shine bright. Smash you, front to back. You gon' need hindsight. In fact, when I attack, you're lucky if I leave you intact. I'm prone to overkill. I work you over till I steal your motor skills. It's the same whenever I'm done. You're numb, throw the thumb. Most can't remember their name or where they're from. And some speechless, dumb, looking deaf and dumb. Your weak like 7 days. Get afraid, I'm amazed. Y'all still step up, cause I hit more men than Jenna Jameson in better days. You can't clear your heads, you with a Jenna Hayes.
Hey everybody, it's now time for my part 2 real life superhero narration short review of the 1994 animated series adaptation Highlander. The animated series, which is set decades and centuries after the original film series preceding this cartoon. Like I said in the short narration part 1 version, first heard about this cartoon in the mid 2006 years after its final airing in the years 99 and 2000, and a decade after its premiere. First heard about this cartoon, I never took the time to actually look up and watch the cartoon until 2016 or 17, and the cartoon was nothing short of awesome. I wanted to do a review back then, but I didn't understand that much about the series. I didn't understand that much about the series, and unfortunately just didn't have a lot to talk about. So that's why I decided to do this new series that I initially debuted a decade ago, but where I only do a short review of something, based on the limited knowledge I have and what I have seen in the series, and then I'll rewatch the series, and then I'll give you my then I'll do then the well, in this case the part 3 and 4s and 5 and 6s will be the webcam reviews, the regular and real life superhero reviews, and the season reviews, my new style. First part narration, second larger part is webcam, but I can't do that with every franchise because I don't remember or know every franchise, so that's why reviews like this take so long. And as you also saw, I did the old retro television network that aired and premiered or reran these shows as a sort of a taste of what I'm going to be talking about. And this was featured in both my BKN network reviews and the USA Cartoon Express, and I think even the Action Extreme team also. So yeah, like I said, Highlander animated series, and like I said, this cartoon is a cross between the Street Fighter, the animated series, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, which it precedes both of those cartoons by 1 to 2 years. This is everything Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm should have been, but I like the style Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm went for, which suits the style that was the actual style of Mortal Kombat at the time. But I applaud, and of course, after that, Double Dragon, the animated series, the new adventures of He-Man, King Arthur, and the Knights of the Round Table, and the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, which was a decade before this cartoon right here. And I also like this cartoon for, once again, just one of the main things I like about the 90s. The 90s, 2000s, and 2010s are my number one favorite and best eras of cartoons, because these were the darker, these were cartoons were starting to get more darker. They still couldn't show blood and gore yet, but they could at least show people dying. And this cartoon didn't show people dying. You just saw, like I said, the bad guy, Cortan. You just saw them pull out their sword, swing their sword, and then you saw the end result, which is them consuming the energy of the vanquished warrior. And like I said in part 1, who's gonna die, who lives, who's gonna die, and how Quentin MacLeod and his friends, how they're gonna get out of each situation and what adventure they're gonna encounter in episode, and who is gonna get killed, and how it's gonna be I didn't say this in part 1, but I'm also doing the live action. I debuted this in 2020 with the Disney Channel premiere episodes of Sydney to the Max, Coop and Cammy Ask the World, Gabby Duran and the Incitables, Raven's Home, and later Just Roll With It, Ultra Violent and Black Scorpion, the Disney Saturdays, and so on. I'm going to do this for cartoons also, including retro cartoons that have already finished airing but I haven't seen yet. I'm going to give my post webcam reaction and review. Sometimes I guess there'll be narration. It depends on my mood at the time. Explaining what each episode is about, because it's gonna be hard to remember what happens in each episode when I give you the full season review. And like I said, I'm doing all this because I like doing as much reviews and much videos as possible as possible without being overly repetitive. So yeah, Highlander, the animated series, and like I said, eight I'm already 8 episodes in, close to finishing season one of this two seasons series. I think it's 40 episodes combined. It's 40 episodes combined, 2 seasons, with the first one being 13 and the second one being even larger than that. Yeah. So yeah, Highlander, the animated series. Now for the lore, for the storyline and lore of the series. Like I said in part one and in the beginning of this video, it's set decades after the first three Highlander animated series, Highlander live action films. It predates my favorite in game by 6 years. By 6 years. So yeah, and yeah, this follows the adventures of a new protagonist named Quentin MacLeod, the long lost descendant and I think relative of the main character Connor MacLeod from the original live action movies, portrayed by Christopher Lambert, and he is guided by Ramirez, his mentor, whose voice actor speaks with an accent and voice similar to late actor Sean Connery, who the late Sean Connery portrayed Christopher Lambert's Connor MacLeod's mentor in the original Highlander live action movies. He is guided by Ramirez, who trains him how to use a sword, use a sword and protect themselves from the various enemies of the main antagonist, Cortan and his henchmen Arak, Malone, Gorth, Osmos, Balka, Kirk, and Mohar. So yeah. Also on join on his quest is Clyde, his adoptive sister, who usually ends up getting into danger, but on certain occasions she's proven to be useful and serves as a distraction, and their pet Grant, which is a hybrid of an ape and a canine called Gaul. Yeah. So yeah, that's Highlander, the Highlander, the so yeah, that's Highlander, the animated series. Yeah, like I said in part one, one of the greatest cartoons of all time. Not just the best 90s cartoon, and in my opinion, the best Highlander adaptation of all time is this one right here. Another cartoon. I'll do a video on this. Cartoons that deserve a second chance. This cartoon will definitely be on the list. So yeah, this was my real life superhero review of Highlander, the animated series. Oh no, more about the storyline and lore. And like I said, in the storyline, the storyline is in this one. And if you know Highlander, the animated series, you know the Highlander franchise. It's about a group of swordsmen and beings called the Immortals, who participate in a gigantic contest called the Hunt. I think called the Hunt or something else, where they fight each other for the prize of becoming the one. They do this by fighting each other and beheading their opponent. The person who beheads his opponent will consume the vanquished warrior's power until he is the final the final one. So in this gigantic hunt, you will see lots of alliances form, trickery, deceit, betrayal, strategy, and strategy. That's part of the fun in every episode. Not only seeing who's gonna get decapitated, but seeing the adventures Quentin and his friends get into and how they're gonna get out until the final episode where Quentin will have his destined duel with the main antagonist Cortan, who throughout this series who Cortan is trying to find Quentin McLeod, and he's even let him go on several occasions. He was been forced to let him go on several occasions. Yeah, and speaking of Cortan, that's the main plot. In this version, the remaining immortals alive swore to an oath to get rid of their swords and work together in preserving and building a better world. However, Cortan, the main antagonist, goes against this oath and begins killing other immortals, trying to obtain their power so he can become the one. Yeah, that's the storyline, that's the lore of Highlander, the animated series, and I like how it tries to be its own thing. It doesn't completely just rip off the live action movies. It tries to be its own thing. So with that being said, you want to see the original. If you didn't see the original part 1 version, the link will be in the description box below. You want to hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now.
Every Thursday night on TNA, it's like a spotlight and main events in his DNA. Who you say was Kurt Angle, Benito, Settle, best in the world, only guy in the sport with a gold medal. Right, your opponents to the center, physical and mental, cause he's simply better. No playing around with no second attempts, and lay it down for a 3-second nap on the mat. You're staring at the ceiling on your back is appealing. Get yourself a match and you can't do that. It's a rap, you're trapped in the game, you a rat in the maze. Just amazed how I made my name. My fame is a runaway train on the track. I fight like my life's on the line every night. In fact, that's why I'm gonna take that strap.